Okay, hey guys, well, I haven't seen you for a week, so I thought I'd give you the weekly update on what's going on. So if you guys have watched, you've probably seen our little nightmare here, the 60 Mercedes. So I'll show you what we've done here since I talked to you last in a week. If you recall, we had cut out this lower pan and hammered and dulled all the dents out the best possible, and we were welding it back in when you seen it, and it was still quite messy looking. So we got it all welded back in place. We hammered it out some more while it was on the car, dollied it and filed it a bit, and then we had to do a little bit of heating and shrinking with the torches. Then we roughed in all the bodywork here right now, and we've just done the area that the customer wanted to fix. So we've done all that, and then we've put it in a 2-part filler primer, and it was just sprayed right now. So the filler primer is sprayed on there. What I'll do is I'll leave this sit now for well, I mean, you can sand it and block it tomorrow, but I've got a couple other things to go to work on. So I'm going to leave it sit for the next couple days. I'm just going to throw her up on the hoist here, hike her up in the air, get her out of the way. We'll leave it sit for a couple days here, and then we'll come back and we'll sand it and block it and fix any little imperfections we got. And then what we'll do is I'll primer it with a Urafil primer over top of the slick sand, and then basically it's ready for paint. You just got to give it a final block and a sand for paint, and you're ready to go. I had mentioned to you that the customer wanted us to fix this area, and then he was talking about redoing the whole front of the car, because this car is all one piece and it kind of cuts. You can't see it. If you watch my past video, you see it cut points here. So he wanted me to kind of do all the car. He's coming out in a couple days. I'm going to have him take a look at it. The problem is that this car is full of Bondo. Whoever did the work on it, they did a beautiful paint job, but they did shitty body work. They just layered the Bondo on it, and they didn't know how to get anything straight. The whole car is, like I said, not waves, but it's little ripples everywhere. I mean, the front of this car had up to an inch of Bondo in it that we took out, and all they had to do was hammer the dents out, but I guess they didn't own a hammer, I don't know. Or maybe they didn't know how to use it. So he's coming out to take a look at what I've done. He wants to do the whole front nose, but the problem is I like to prefer to talk him out of it and just kind of color blend this in and paint the front of this car, like just this part that you see primered. Because the problem is, if I do all the body work on the nose here and repaint the front of the car, the rest of the car is so bad that this is going to come out looking so perfect that you're just going to make the rest of the car look even worse. So it's either do the whole car or just leave it like this and fix this. I'm kind of hoping he just goes for this point of it right now, because I've got tons of work to do, and I didn't mean to take this one on at the moment, but I'm a sucker for works and for punishment, so I took it on, and here we are. But I have a strong feeling he's going to say do the whole car, and you know what? I'll stay out here to midnight and we'll do the whole car. So anyway, let's move on to the next thing. If you remember, here's our little 36 Ford pickup fenders. The customer is actually on his way to pick these up. So we've got them all finished off. I think last time you seen them, I think just the bodywork was roughed in on them. They're in a couple videos, past videos. So we've managed to, we've primed them, we blocked them, and then we primed them again with the Urafil, and they're ready to go. All the customer's got to do now is when he's ready to paint this vehicle, give it a light block, sand it out, and away he goes. He's ready to paint them. So our fenders are done for the 36 Ford, and I do believe now he's bringing me the hood and the grill shell, I believe. So that's a good thing. We get rid of a couple things. Here is the best thing of the week. And yes, I've slipped another one in, and I'm bitching and groaning and moaning about work, and I've slipped another one in only because this is a good friend of mine, and I mentioned him earlier in another video. His name is Bruce Brown. He's an icon out here where I live out in the valley. This guy's been building hot rods, old school, since he was a kid. I guess back then they were old school, because he's 69 years old, and look what he's driving to this day. And I mean, just unbelievable. If you're looking for someone if you're out in the valley where I am, up here in BC, and you're looking for somebody to build you a flathead or a HEMI motor, or any motor in particular, but he really knows the flatheads and HEMIs, and he is a ticketed welder, and he's probably one of the best welders around here. So he brought me this car, and I mean, it's just, he wants me to do the body work, but I mean, just look at this car. We're talking 31 Ford, 5-window coupe, chopped 3 inches, split wishbones, dropped axle, drum brakes, old school HEMI. If you come around here and you take a look at the inside of this thing, and remember, I said this guy is 69 years old, so if you take a look at this car, we are running here a 40 Ford dashboard, a 40 Ford steering wheel. He's got the seat out of the wrecking yard, so it's a little more modern, but it suits the car. Automatic. He's got the motor hooked up to an automatic there. Obviously, no fenders. He's got some cool pinstriping on the back here. Someone was playing around, did some striping for him, didn't do a bad job, looks pretty good. Sitting on 32 Ford frame rails. Underneath the back, he's got the differential, is still using, like we would in the day, the old rear banjo spring or buggy spring, whatever you guys want to call it. Everyone's got a different name for it. But the bottom line is, it's none of this modern shit. Now don't get me wrong, because I'm not knocking anyone out there that has this stuff with modern cars, because I put it in cars all day long for people. All I'm saying is that this is what a true hot rod is all about. This is the roots of hot rodding. This is what this shop is about, right here. I will build and do anything, but this is what I love. This car is just, this is why I slipped this job in, because he came to me and said, can you get this done? And he said, I want to be driving it here in April. Well, here we are at the beginning of March. So he's given me 4 weeks to strip this car. I got to paint the frame gloss black, the firewall gloss black, and he's talking a nice satin black on the body or a real dark blue on the body. He doesn't know which way he's going to go yet. So I've got a lot of work here cut out for me in the next 4 weeks, because if you could see this car up close, which you'll never see in the video, Bruce is awesome at everything I listed, but he's not a body man, and he admits that. He's an old school hot rodder, so he just roughed in the body work. I call roughing in just sort of not perfect. He roughed it in, and it's just, you can't see my hand, but it's doing one of these right now. The whole thing. And there's lumps and bumps everywhere in this car. There's a lot of work here to do in 4 weeks. And I'll get her done. I mean, you know, I can't stress this enough. You can go back to some of my other videos. This is a small shop where we take pride in what we do and we care about what we do. And you know what? I love cars. Cars, they mean more to me than anything in the world. I mean, this is all I live for, is this stuff. And it's just myself, again, which I will stress here. I do all the mechanical, the welding, the fabricating, and I also do the body work and primering and paint work. But I do have 2 other guys that are part-time, but they only do the body work. That's what they do. They're just the body work guys. So, you know, it kind of makes you wonder sometimes, but I could be going on a limb here saying this. It kind of makes you wonder sometimes when you take your car to a shop. They've got 12 guys working on it, and they tell you it's going to take, you know, 6 to 7 months to do it. I don't get it, because, you know, I mean, I strip them right now and do absolute beautiful quality work here, and I mean, I'm going to get it done in 4 weeks, and I'm only working Monday to Friday. Mind you, I do put a lot of late hours in I don't tell you about, and that's why I'm extremely fucking tired as we're doing this video right now, and I just want to fall down. The car's holding me up, actually, so, yeah. Let's call it a night, and I'm so excited about having this car. I think I'm just going to sleep in the car tonight, so I hope you don't mind, Bruce. See you later, guys.